So pet mutations have come to grow a garden in Roblox, and among the most rare, if not the rarest, is the Ascended pet mutation. So this video, we're going to talk about that mutation. I'm going to show you the mutation. We're going to try and use the mutation to put something on my plants, and we're going to see if we can skip the mutation's long cooldown using other pets like a queen bee, etc. So without further ado, let's get into the video. But first, if you can do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, but only if you find this information valuable. I'm just trying to bring you as much useful information as I can to help everybody as much as I can. So if that is you, go ahead and hit subscribe. And now, without further ado, let's get into the actual video. So this right here is the Ascended mutation, the rarest mutation in the game. I just completed a trade with a really excited young guy who really wanted a disco bee. So I had an extra disco bee. I traded to him. This is my second one. I traded him my first one. I used the disco bees to put disco on my humongous bone blossoms there. I no longer need more than one, so I traded the disco bee to him for the Ascended cooked owl. Yes, the lowly cooked owl. He must have had a very old cooked owl from having it in his garden for such a long time. He put it into the mutation machine and got an Ascended cooked owl. And now this little guy is mine. So the mutations, as you can see right down here, you have a lot of them. You have shiny and inverted and windy and frozen, all the way down to Ascended at a 0.32. Basically, this is 1 in every 300 mutations will become Ascended. So they're quite rare. In fact, they're very rare. Now, why would I be so interested in an Ascended mutation? Why would I even be willing to trade a disco bee when the disco bee is a 0.25% chance to hatch? And the Ascended mutations are going to become more and more common as time goes by, as more and more people mutate their pets. Well, it's what it does. To help demonstrate, I'm going to come over here to my alt. Everyone say hello to KroAlt. KroAlt can say hello to everybody. Now, on my alt, I grew in a previous video on the channel. I made these lovely bone blossoms. And I made those bone blossoms on this video right here, the 100 trillion bone blossom method in Grow a Garden. And since that video, I have put a ton of mutations on my bone blossoms, as you can clearly see over there. They're jacked. They're worth about 500 billion shekels a piece, with the worst one being worth about 200 billion, because I think it's just a smaller one than the other ones. And now what I'm going to do is give the Ascended pet to my alt. Here, oh, I have to unfavorite it. Here you go, KroAlt. Enjoy my Ascended pet. Thank you, main Crow. I will totally accept the Ascended pets. All right, let's add this guy to the garden. We'll take a look at his effect. Well, look at him walking around. He's all glowing. This guy's only aged 5, and take a look at that cooldown time. 359 minutes. That is equal to 6 hours. What could possibly take 6 hours to activate? The Ascended mutation. Every 6 hours, a nearby feud ascends to a higher realm, applying the Dawn-bound mutation. What is the Dawn-bound mutation, and why is this such a big deal? Here we are on the webpage for the wiki for mutations, and when we switch over to limited mutations and scroll down, you're going to quickly see that the Dawn-bound mutation is in fact one of the most powerful mutations in the game. However, there's something special about it. During the Sun God event, by getting 4 players to hold 4 sunflowers, with each flower touching in front of the Sun God, when that happens, those held sunflowers get Dawn-bound. That's right, before the Ascended mutation has come out and come into the game, the only way to get the Dawn-bound mutation with a times 150 multiplier was to hold the flower in your hand with 4 friends and approach the Sun God to have those held flowers get Dawn-bound. It was previously impossible to put Dawn-bound on a fruit still attached to the plant. Now, not only can you put Dawn-bound on any fruit, that fruit is still attached to the tree, which means raccoons can take it over and over and over. So I'm basically adding a 150 times multiplier to all of these bone blossoms. These bone blossoms that are still missing things like Aurora and Sun-Dried and Celestial, and there's a lot of mutations these things need. So yes, Ascended is very, very useful. we now could put Dawnbound on anything every 6 hours. But what we're going to do in this video is I want to see if we can cheat that somehow. In my possession, I have 2 pets that I've hatched, and I love these guys. I have a queen bee, a really old queen bee, and I have a mimic octopus. And what I want to do is give them to my alt and see if the mimic octopus can duplicate the effect or if the queen bee can reset the effect. Now, I'm starting to realize that there's a bit of a problem with it being a cooked owl. If this was any pet that didn't have an activated ability, this test would be easier, but there is a chance that the queen bee or the mimic octopus duplicate or reset this ability, the cooked ability, instead of this ability. So this could actually take even longer than I expected to test. But guys, I am here to bring you value. I am here to give you the information that you need, and I'm willing to take the time necessary to do this. So let's give, hold on, I have to unfavorite. Let's give the mimic octopus to my alt, and we'll give the queen bee to my alt, who will gladly accept both of these pets willingly and nicely and all that great stuff. And we're also going to remove the blood kiwis, because the blood kiwis also have an activated ability where they can reduce egg times. We don't want the queen bee or the mimic duplicating or resetting the wrong things. Now, I'm tempted. This is a problem. If I put down both the mimic and the queen bee, they may reset or duplicate each other. Though if the mimic duplicates the queen bee's reset, but the mimic could duplicate the queen bee's pollination. This is getting a little more difficult than I expected, but I must try. I'm going to start with the mimic. We're going to put the mimic down, and the mimic, if memory serves me, it's only a 20-minute wait time. Yep, right here. Every 19 minutes and 59 seconds, he will copy an ability from another bet. Wait a second. I just remembered something. Oh, I just saved myself some time. If memory serves me, the mimic pet was nerfed. Here it is. I just found it. On July 12th, the mimic octopus was nerfed to be unable to copy pets' mutation abilities. Hold on, this change was reverted shortly thereafter? It was reverted. It was reverted? So maybe the mimic octopus can copy mutation abilities? Well, we're about to find out, Mr. Mimic Octopus. I will see you guys in exactly, hold on, I'm on my main, hold on. As I was saying, I will see you guys in exactly 18 minutes. Yep, I will be back in 18 minutes. This is your 2 minutes warning. 2 minutes. Will the mimic copy the correct ability? If the mimic copies the cooked, well, I'm cooked, and we have to wait another 20 minutes. If he copies the Dawn Guard, well, then we're on to something. I will stand by on my main and watch. God, he's so handsome. I'm kidding. He looks like an idiot. We are 20 seconds away. Please, mimic octopus, copy the correct ability. Don't copy the cooked. Okay, here we go. I'm watching you, Mr. Mimic. What did he try and copy? I didn't get a message. Oh, he tried to copy the cooked ability. He copied the cooked ability. You know what? I'm also going to slap down the queen bee. I mean, yes, the queen bee can refresh the cooldown on something. It could refresh the cooldown on the mimic. It could refresh the cooldown on the Dawn Guard ability. And yes, the mimic could copy the pollinated, but it can also copy the reset ability, which could target the Dawn Guard or could target the copy. It's confusing. It doesn't matter. It looks like I have another roughly 20 minutes to wait here between all of these abilities. So I'll be back in 20 minutes. All right, the time is almost here. Will we do the right things, or will the queen bee reset the wrong thing? Will the mimic the wrong thing? We're about to find out. Queen bee's first ability is about to go off, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the pollinated. Here it goes. Let's see. Pollinated first. I'm watching her carefully. This queen bee? Yeah, I think you're going to pollinate that fruit. Or try to. Didn't see a message on the screen. That was weird. Now it is time for the mimic to do his mimicking thing. Please mimic the ascended mutation. He's doing a thing. What did he mimic? Hello? Message. He mimicked the cook. Okay, he mimicked the cook. That's horrible. 2 times in a row, he mimicked the cook ability. The wiki did say that it was reverted, so it should work in theory. Now we are 44 seconds away from the reset. Hopefully he resets Ascended or the Mimic, because then the Mimic can just try the Ascended again. The Queen Bee has 3 options to reset. 1 is amazing, 1 is decent, 1 is horrible. Please choose The Ascended reset. The Ascended. He reset. Let him cook. They both chose let him cook. Oh, I gotta wait another 20 minutes. Pain. Guys, I am only programmed to feel pain. All right, first up, we have the pollinated ability. I'm almost sure this is the pollinated. Yeah, she's going to these fruits to try and pollinate them. Doesn't work. Up next is the Mimic Octopus. And he has a 50% chance to hit either the Dawn Guard effect or the Reset effect. If the Mimic hits the Cooked effect for a third time in a row, we riot. All right, Mr. Mimic, let's see what you're going to do. Please hit the big effect. Oh, the pollinator. No, he copied pollinator. This is what I get for including the queen bee, but the queen bee has her own reset, so maybe it will help. I mean, I do want to know whether the reset or the mimic can actually hit the mutation ability. Okay, the queen bee is about to trigger. She has 3 legal targets. Hopefully she hits the mutation, and then maybe she hits the mimic, but hopefully she does not hit the cooked again. All right, queen bee, show us what you got. Reducing a cooldown. It says the cooked. She's reducing the cooked again. Why? I don't know if I have the worst luck or if the mutation actually can't be targeted. Wait a second. If a Mimic Octopus copies a pet with 2 abilities like the queen bee, it will only perform the first ability. If this was necessarily oh no. Look, the cooked is the first ability. Do I need to find an ascended pet that doesn't have an activated ability to make this work? Now hold on, reading the queen bee, the For the Queen's cooldown went from 30 minutes to 23 minutes. The mechanic was also changed from random pet to pet with the highest cooldown. So if the queen bee was going to ever be able to reset the mutation, it would have done so because the mutation clearly has the largest cooldown out of any cooldown located here on the screen. So queen bee, you're pretty much useless. I don't think you're going to be able to do it. However, the Mimic Octopus should still be able to pull it off if the cooked owl didn't have the cooked ability. I need to find another ascended pet. Maybe I can trade my cooked owl for a different ascended pet. So it looks like we have proven that the queen bee is unable to affect ascended, and we have yet to prove whether the Mimic Octopus can affect Ascended. Hopefully in a future video, I will have a different Ascended pet to test this with properly. Hopefully you found value in this video. If you did, hit subscribe. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.